Hello.
Hello. Welcome, welcome. How was your week?
Very busy. How about yours?
Really good.
Good.
So it is 7:54 Central Standard Time. It is Friday, May the 8th, and we are going to kick off here with some interesting news. First of all, Debbie, how's the channel doing? How's that going?
Slow and steady. I'm not really doing anything as far as marketing yet. So I'm actually quite pleased with where it's at. I think we're at 370 subscribers, which is a very small amount, obviously. But when you consider, I never expected to get more than 100. That's pretty good
Oh,
then.
that'll change. Uh, yes. So Debby OMAD, guys, if you haven't already, check out her channel. And for those of you coming from the OMAD revolution, welcome. We will be doing these as able to from time to time, particularly now. So we're going to start today with some weird news that I have come across. And all of this goes to our theme today of uncertain times, difficult times. We're going to talk about the challenges ahead for basically our society in general, because what we're up against now is a big change. We're really facing the beginnings of what seems to want to become a police state. But let's start out on a lighter note. Debbie, do you have your beverage?
I do. I'm drinking my bangs. I'm still addicted to those. Only one a day, though. That's all I allow myself. But I
Oh,
don't drink coffee. So
I had one of those the other day, and I was really impressed. I,
they're
I don't
delicious.
I don't remember the flavor. I know I had the watermelon or the cotton candy one, which was kind of all right, but there was one, the red can one, that's supposed to be kind of a knockoff of, I guess, one of the Rockstar variations, and it just made my day.
Well, I'm a Blue Raz fan myself. And I'll tell you what, it's really great because, like I said, I don't drink coffee. So I used to, prior to doing OMAD, rely heavily on Pepsi for my caffeine intake. But I had to quit that. So I started drinking caffeinated water. But then my son introduced me to Bangs, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's got flavor, it tastes delicious, and it's way more caffeine than a Pepsi. I'll take it.
There you go. I did not know. I did not know. I had forgotten that you, yeah, you don't drink coffee, do you?
No, no, I've never acquired a taste for it. It just is awful to me. Although I wish I could. I've tried, but I can't do it. I can't do it.
I, I,
So I don't.
I get it. I think if it weren't for Splenda and my fasting experience at 2013 going into 2014, I would never have acquired one because I never drank it growing up. I didn't, there was nothing that spoke to me about it, but somehow I found a way to make it. I don't know. It just happened. So it was one of the things that I ended up doing and you didn't. But the energy drink phenomenon is its own phenomenon. And one of the things that has kept me going has been the occasional, as in once every 2 weeks at the most, once a month, more than likely, use of energy drinks. So
Well, I will admit I do drink them every day, but I limit myself to one a day because it's 300.
you're making it work for you, so that's really good. And if
Yeah,
you don't have liver, yeah, issues, then it
it's
definitely.
no. And it's funny because all of three of my children drink coffee. They're adults now, of course, but yeah, they all drink coffee. I'm the only one that doesn't.
Gotcha, man.
Funny.
Yep, you're the odd one out. So,
Which is usually the case.
yeah. This from Bangkok. We have Bangkok Cat Cafe reopens after coronavirus shutdown. The cafe is called Catterday Cafe, and the employees, the feline so-called employees, are back at it with the human staff, and they're each pretty much just praising themselves because they have gone about trying to uh, safeguard themselves and in the overblown fear that this is going to be really bad. Another one comes out of Bangkok, the same city where schnauzers are back in the grooming business, these dogs, and everybody's getting together. See, we're at the point in society where we're actually worried that our animals are going to get a deadly virus. And
Well, I don't know, Joe. Have you seen that they actually do have dogs that have been reported that have COVID? They're thinking that dogs can't spread it to other humans, but humans can spread it to animals.
yes, but and that's the thing. They can't get it. That they could potentially spread it. I'm guessing, but let's assume that somebody gets. How would we? Are we that at the point? And the problem that underlies this, the same thing with all of the lockdown, which I'm convinced was in taking kids out of school and all of this stuff. It was the biggest possible mistake we could make because
Oh, yep.
that's not how a virus works. A virus, just like any bacteria, which it's cousins, bacteria, we'll call them cousins, um, are accomplices, partners in crime, but they're not. You can't stop them like that. And the only way would be to anyone who says, "Hey, we're going to stop all germs." You can definitely pat them on the head and pity them and say, your days are going to be difficult because you can't possibly do it. You can't.
Well, it's herd immunity. It has to be developed.
Yeah,
And by letting this all it's doing is hurting our immune systems.
exactly. So now people that are doing the same thing with the pets, the same thing with the all of this, it's part of the same paranoia. And we have all these kids now here in Houston who are out of that they don't have anything to do, and this has completely disrupted their school cycle on out of ridiculous fear. And it's that we won't know for another year and a half to 3 years how bad this is going to get. Next story.
Well, it's scary when you think about what the long-term ramifications are going to be on the children. If this is going to mess up their immune systems on a long-term basis, if this is going to mess up their development abilities at this stages of whatever stage of maturity they're at right now, if this is stunting it in any way. And like you said, we won't know for years to come, but I have to believe, just seeing my own grandson who is homeschooling, that this is impacting him. And then my niece who is graduating and can't graduate from high school. I mean, that's a huge moment in life for people.
Absolutely.
And all of these people are not able to experience that.
Not to mention, it teaches them to, that's how you avoid things. You run from it. You don't
Yes.
run your body from it. You run from it. So here's another one, another bizarre news article here from Reuters. A village officer dressed as the Star Wars character Darth Vader rides a small boat to deliver relief goods to residents in the flooded Artex compound in Malabon, Metro Manila, Philippines, May 4th, 2020. So they have this giant 12-foot tall statue, or what looks to be 8 or 10 feet tall Darth Vader statue. So they're going to have fun with their fear mongering. They're going to go.
Yeah.
They're going to go.
That's exactly.
They're going to say, "Hey, you know what? We're spreading essentially a rumor. But we're going to have fun with it. We're going to say, hey, you know what? If we have to stay inside and wash our hands continually." Which, by the way, that's another topic. We could do probably a whole show on it, is the hand washing. A lot of people have a fear of hand washing. It's an obsessive compulsive behavior. What has this done for them?
Exactly. Somebody said something about people like Howie Mandel must be just loving this right now because they were right. But that's such the wrong attitude and wrong way to look at this. This particular point in time and what they're asking of us is got to be just escalating that problem for people like Howie Mandel that have OCD.
Oh yes, it's for people that are unlike Howie Mandel, who seems to be pretty stable. You have others who are not stable, who are maybe living with assistance or living, like a monitoring situation because they're not quite mentally stable. They're not quite able to manage, and then they're being told now, oh, you've got to clean everything. So you've got to scrub down every table, every door handle. And again, this is coming from a germ freak who doesn't even lick fingers. So I don't, I get it, but I would be a fool to tell you that I should bind that on everybody else. I do that for peace of mind because I'm weird like that. Other people do it
Is
because
is this is this causing OCD for you?
oh, not at all. In fact, it's having the absolute, I'm glad you asked because it's having the exact opposite effect on me. And I'm saying, give it a reaction to your question. I mean, leave it. It's like, oh my God, why are we so concerned? I understand me saying, look, I would rather not lick fingers and turn a page, or because that's just, I don't like to think of saliva enzymes from other people being on doorknobs. But when I see everybody else, including my own boss and my board of directors, going around saying, well, we got to stand 6 feet apart and we've got to, walk around and basically push buttons with our wrists and do other things. It's like a bad episode of the Twilight Zone. It's like,
Oh, it is. I've been saying that for a month now. I feel like we are living in an episode of Twilight Zone. I mean, the old cliche that uh, truth is stranger than fiction couldn't be more accurate right now.
that's the problem, and it's everybody is just it's like a bad Twilight Zone. And the company that I work for and draw my biggest salary from is a company that just came out and said, well, we're gonna bio dust everything, and so they actually put out a video, and I'm gonna be as cloaked with this reference as I can for obvious reasons. This, like, showing all of these cleaning people just going around in white suits, spraying stuff down with bioelectric cleaners. It honestly looks like an episode of Idiocracy, the electrolytes in the plant.
Oh yeah.
It's
Uh,
it's like people are losing their minds, and then you get this story, which I didn't include in the list today, but with the people who drank the bleach because they said, well, that'll help with coronavirus. So
oh yeah.
this,
Well, there's that the age-old theory of the weakest link and natural selection,
yep,
and it kind of
it
applies.
absolutely does. It's a Darwin Award, as some of the outrage channels are calling it, and some of this. It's a Darwin Award. You get a Darwin Award. You get snuffed. If you're too stupid, you might need to go. So, yeah, we can joke about it, but it's absolutely true on some light. Here's another one: novel toilet roll cakes keep Finnish baker in business. A quick-thinking Helsinki bakery has saved itself from financial ruin due to the new coronavirus pandemic by creating a cake that looks like a roll of toilet paper. Now, I got to say, this is ingenuity right here. This is the where some smarts is coming in. This is the opposite of our Darwin people, our Darwin Award people. This is actually using your brain here. And this, I'm looking at support your local establishment sign, and then there's stuff that looks just like toilet paper, but it's a cake. How brilliant is that?
that is a
The dismayed staff at what's that?
disconnecting. What's happening here?
What's that?
Huh. I'm getting it, trying to reconnect. I'm not sure what that's about.
Oh no, okay.
It should
No.
reconnect. But that's definitely thinking outside the box. Although I still am perplexed as to why there was such a run on toilet paper, other than some people bought a bunch of toilet paper, so it freaked everybody else out that there wouldn't be enough for them, and it spread from there. But it's still
Hey,
fries.
Y2K. You remember the same crap with Y2K?
Yeah.
It was people going around and going all over the place and saying we need to buy toilet paper and bottled water because the end of the world's same stuff.
Yep.
Same stuff. Absolutely right. My initial reaction was absolutely right. The dismayed staff at the Rantasuruva Bakery, hope I'm pronouncing that right, found all their orders canceled last month at the same time as panicked customers began to hoard toilet rolls. This sparked the idea of a toilet roll cake made of oat batter, passion fruit mousse, and covered with white fondant. I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
It's that sugary stuff you can eat that's almost solid, so they can form it around a cake.
They around a cake. Okay.
Yeah.
The first 5 cakes sold within an hour. Baker Uliana Timofeva told Reuters, and the cake became a social media hit. The bakery now has hundreds of orders, and its owner, Sanya Lampinen, has even been able to hire 2 extra people to her 9-member team. Hey, you know what? I say you go. I
Absolutely. That is genius. Good for her.
absolutely brilliant. And then, but that is to me, when you can take a crap situation and you can say this is terrible, and instead of sulking about it, instead of letting yourself degenerate, you can turn that around into something that is actually productive, and you can say, you know what, we're going to merchandise this. I say more power to you.
Oh, absolutely. You got to love her ingenuity and obviously her tenacity because, she's not sitting around feeling sorry for herself. Like you said, she found a way to make this work for her. And that's awesome. And there's a lot of really positive stories out there of people doing just that. In my own personal life, I'm taking this time because my hours are much less than what they used to be. So I went back to school. So I'm trying to enhance my skills so that I'm more marketable in the technology world. And what better time to do that?
Exactly. Not a better time at all. It's the best time. It's also the best time to, yeah, start, maybe start an eBay drop shipping business. That's something I've done before and used to really enjoy. At my high point, I was making a couple grand a month just reselling stuff that others had. And not a lot of people know there's a market for that. If you just know a few tricks, you can, resell, based on the market of what certain items go for.
Well,
So,
opportunities are out there, and it's really up to you to be open to them and to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. And I think that
absolutely.
a lot of people right now are being forced outside of their comfort zone, and it could turn out to be a really positive thing for the individual.
It can be. And that's the way all these sorts of uh, fiascos, that there's a silver lining, that there's something that allows you to address an area you wouldn't have done. And it's the same way with cleaning out a garage or putting off a task. Now you have the opportunity to go through that darn task list and say, okay, I've said I'm going to paint the garage for years. Well, now's the chance to actually do it. Now's the chance to actually start to push boundaries and maybe even make people think